advertise, you must buy my product, you must buy my product. No, of course, I want your attention, you have to buy my product. Rural brands. You have to try this yourself. Rural. Unfortunately, too many people in advertising treat their prospects like idiots. What is the reason why Tirupati Mandir is so popular? Why do people go over there and give gold willingly? The best way to generate word of mouth is to understand the emotional need of the consumer. Brands are about identifying the emotional need that the consumer has not wants. And the reason that I don't have to advertise my brand is that my satisfied client recommends another satisfied client. That people want technology to make them look creative.
Welcome to a new episode of our podcast where we delve into the world of branding and marketing with a focus on real world application. Today, we will be exploring a wide range of topics from the evolution of brand names and the Red Curtain International to the powerful connection between theater and branding. We will also discuss how brands can learn from the reaction of a live audience, the shift from selling features to solving emotional problems, and the true relevances of data in marketing. हमारे आज के जो गेस्ट हैं सर सुमित लाय रॉय. He is going to reveal his views and opinion about branding. Every individual has his or her own thoughts and opinion and the concept of branding. Join us as we explore these insights and much more. Yeah, hi sir. Nice
Hi
meeting
there.
you.
Hi Tabassum. Good.
Yes,
Good to
sir.
meet you too.
ओके सो सर छोटी सी गेम से शुरुआत करते हैं. ठीक है. आई विल नेम अ फ्यू ब्रांड्स दैट यू विल टेल अस. ओके. वर्ड what are really selling not the product but the ideas, but you have to bring your ideas, not the product. Okay.
My ideas or the brand's ideas?
A few brands ideas, but not about the product, only the ideas behind.
Unfortunately, brands are not about ideas. Brands are not about ideas.
Then
brands are about identifying the emotional need that the consumer has not wants.
Okay. There is one word questions that I want to ask you, like about the idea behind that product. Tell me about Kalyan Jewelers.
Kalyan Jewelers is selling heritage.
Okay. Surf Excel.
Surf Excel is currently selling the idea your children should be given the liberty to do what they want.
Okay. Red Bull.
Red Bull is saying that you can have the energy to enjoy life.
And what about Dove, sir?
Dove is saying that true beauty lies within yourself.
Okay.
It's not a soap. It's not a shampoo. It says the Dove brand will help you realize your true beauty.
Yeah. सर आपका जो काम है वो ब्रांडिंग से ज्यादा बिलीफ एंड परफॉर्मेंस का है.
नहीं.
तो आज
नहीं, that's not right. My work is only right. To help. No, my work is only to help people grow their brands.
To grow their brands.
Yes.
So what the real business? Okay. So what's the real business?
Yeah. So what the real business is the brand.
Yeah, behind that brand and the emotions behind the strategy you have.
So let me explain quite simply.
Yeah.
What business is WhatsApp really in? Is WhatsApp a brand? Do you agree that WhatsApp is a brand?
No.
No, it's not a brand.
No.
It gets a $19 billion valuation and it's not a brand.
I don't think so, sir. It's a brand.
What would you call it?
WhatsApp is just an communication app. Meta is a brand behind.
No, Meta is the company that owns WhatsApp now. Meta has two brands, Facebook and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Both of these brands are very different.
Okay.
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 So WhatsApp is in the business of helping you keep your messages to only the people you trust.
Yeah.
Facebook is in the business of helping you be visible to the world. WhatsApp doesn't make you visible to the world.
Hmm.
And those are both emotional needs. And that's why they're different brands.
Okay. So, your brand is Ulive Brands, right?
Yeah.
So this name is quite quirky, but इसकी जो pronunciation है, it's something different, I think. तो
Yes, in
इसके
fact,
पीछे की क्या कहानी है? What's the story behind this?
So the correct pronunciation for my brand is Unwrapping Brands. You have to try this yourself. Unwrapping.
Brand.
No, you have to put your tongue very firmly in the cheek. Unwrapping. Then
like
brands.
this? Brand?
Yeah. Unwrapping Brands.
Okay.
The reason
Okay,
it's pronounced like that, because if it's a university, it's the world's smallest university. It has no real estate, it has no classes, but it is yet a university of learning how to build brands. Okay. Why is it the world's smallest? Because it has only one employee, me. Okay. And yet I have clients in 5 continents. The rural part is tongue in cheek. The brands part is very deliberately pronounced.
Okay. So Red Curtain International. So इस नाम के साथ क्या evolve हुआ था journey में आपके?
Sure. So the Red Curtain is an older brand than Unibrands. I'm involved with both. They have no connection with each other than growing people. The Red Curtain also grows people, but grows people in theatre. Unibrands grows people in the area of brand building. The Red Curtain started in 1979 when we had just finished senior Cambridge and had 6 months to spare before going into college. So a friend of mine who was in a boys' school was tired of playing women's roles. He came up with the idea that, look, there is a sister school called Loretto House. Let's do a play together. So we did the play together. And what happened was I fell in love with theatre when that performance happened because of the applause. I also fell in love with a Chinese girl from Loretto at that point of time. And what happened is that we did the show and we were then going to go to college, and we said, okay, what do we do with the money, with the tickets that we raised? We had about 3,000 rupees. We did it in St. Xavier's School Hall, and they arranged for a lady to come and collect the money. The lady came in a white sari with 3 blue bands on the sari. She came and received the money and said, "You boys and girls are doing something good." So that was Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa inspired us to keep on doing good theatre for good causes. And that's what Red Curtain does. It just doesn't do theatre. It does theatre for a cause. So that is the emotional need that Red Curtain meets. Doing good to society. Okay?
Yeah.
And what did happen is that I was not able to earn enough out of theatre, which is why I joined advertising.
Okay. So you often say that believe in the business you are really in.
Yes.
तो क्या ब्रांडिंग तभी स्टेबल है जब सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट नहीं बिलीफ सेल होती है?
Yeah, a product only has a rationale. A brand has the emotional.
Yeah.
If the brand doesn't have emotional, it's a product with a name tag.
Means emotion is
Essential part of brand.
Essential part of that, right?
Right.
Okay.
It is because it's an emotional. That's why you pay a premium for the brand.
So theatre has been a big part of your journey.
That's true.
तो क्या परफॉर्मेंस एक्सरसाइज ने आपकी ब्रांडिंग अप्रोच को शेप किया है?
Yes, definitely, because the workshops that I do and the coaching that I do for people that I grow, I use theatre workshop exercises to help them understand what a brand is. And I try not to use, in fact, I do not use any jargon at all. So I use theatre exercises to get people to understand what the brand is.
Okay. So I remember once you said that geography has become history.
Yes.
Why it is so?
Because I live in Calcutta and I have clients in all 5 continents. I don't have offices in any of those continents. So it's a completely borderless world. It doesn't matter whether I'm currently in Bombay, which is where I am now, or in Calcutta. I can help people around the world as long as they understand English. That's why geography is history. And in Red Curtain, we also discovered during the pandemic that we could do theatre online. And that online theatre means very quickly, we were able to, during pandemic, during the 2020, the first 3 months, we raised more money doing theatre online in 3 months than we had in 3 years of doing theatre in Calcutta.
So, when a stage audience responds with claps, silence, or visuals, so what can brands learn from those reactions?
First of all, I'm going to tell you about how we got claps, applause, and whistles on online theatre.
Yeah.
So this is how you applaud in online theatre. You don't make a sound because you're on mute. Okay? This is how you applaud. Okay? And if you want to say amazing, you do this. Okay? So we teach the audience how to use American Sign Language to communicate. Because theatre is based on communication. It's not one way. What brands can learn is communication rather than the mistake brands make of doing advertise, you must buy my product, No, of course, I want your attention, you have to buy my product. That's not communication.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, so missionaries of charity एक emotional need to address एक इमोशनल नीड को एड्रेस करती है. तो आज के ब्रांड्स के साथ हम क्या सीख सकते हैं इससे?
You can learn a lot from missionaries of charity because Mother Teresa never advertised. Or do you know of any advertisement that Mother Teresa was in?
In my knowledge, I don't know about that.
Yet you know who Mother Teresa is.
Somewhere I know that वो एक इस लेडी थी, उन्होंने बहुत गरीबों की मदद की to help them and to like.
How did you get to know this without any advertising?
I had read in books and that's why I come to know about that, but
so now
I didn't saw any type of advertisement about her.
So she didn't have to pay money to become popular.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the big mistake that brands make. They think they have to spend money to become popular.
Okay.
When actually that's not true. It's not that you can't use advertising, but you can use advertising to amplify your word of mouth. So what I teach people is how to ride the brand building motorcycle. And the brand building motorcycle has 5 very simple gears. What's the obvious emotional truth on which your brand is based? If the brand were a person, therefore, what business is your brand really in? That's the second question. The third question is, if that's the business you're really in, at whom is the brand aimed? And if that is the target mindset, what's the brand's persona? How would you describe the brand as a person? Because a brand needs to be personified. Once that is done, you can come to the branding idea that people will champion. So there are lots of people who do very good work, social work. Yes. Mother Teresa is not the only person who does good work in Calcutta. Okay? But she instinctively knew that the obvious emotional truth is that the first world people feel very guilty about people in the third world dying. Is this true? They feel guilty? So she is in the business of absolving the guilt of the well-to-do. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll give you another example. What is the reason why Tirupati Mandir is so popular? Why do people go over there and give gold willingly? Because
explain it to us.
Yeah, because it is guilt of not having looked after their parents when they were alive. Now they go and try and absolve that guilt by cutting off that hair and giving gold over there because they actually feel very guilty. They're rich, but they feel guilty that they haven't looked after their own family. This absolution of guilt is the same thing that Mother Teresa does. It helps, first of all, people absolve their guilt. As a result of which, you'll find people from the first world becoming tourists who come to Calcutta to spend 7 days in Mother House so that they can absolve the guilt of their parents who were too rich, who didn't have any sense of values so there was no spirituality for them. And for them, they discover the spirituality by coming and doing their penance, okay, at Mother House. To answer all the questions which you'll find in the article that I wrote about brands, what the fuss all about, Mother
Yeah.
Teresa instinctively came up with the branding idea of dignity for the dying.
Right.
So all her nuns practice this. If there is someone who's dying, they will help them pass with dignity. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
By
Sir,
mentioning
I would like to ask one thing, that you are telling first world, second world, third world. Then what do you mean by that?
first world are people who are very affluent, that their gross domestic product is of a very high level. Even the poor people would be considered very affluent in a third world. So a person who is considered poor in America is earning $5,000 a month. That's why he's poor. He's only earning $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month is 4 lakhs of rupees.
4 lakhs of rupees, right?
Yeah. So then there's a second world which is in between, and the third world is where there is a fair amount of poverty. So Africa, India are considered third world because there is a fair amount of poverty. That help you understand how people refer to the first world, second world, and third world?
Yes, and now it's clear. So, okay. So, prosumer मतलब unpaid loyal promoter.
Yep.
तो ऐसा ट्रस्ट कब बनता है कि ब्रांड के लिए कि फर्स्ट कंज्यूमर से या टाइम के साथ कब बनता है ऐसा?
So the mistake that many people make is they usually come up for the business, they come up with the product, and then they go to an advertising agency to try and build their brand. Actually, you need to think through your brand first, then you design the product which has the brand's truth in it. Okay. Do you have an Apple phone, or what is the phone that you use?
It's Realme.
It's Redmi. Redmi or Realme?
Realme.
Realme. So what Realme has successfully done is understood you, that you want to express the real you on social media.
Yeah.
So they branded their phone called Realme because
Right.
that's the emotional need you have. Okay.
Yeah, is the emotional connection that's showing really what I am.
That's correct. So then it'll also, in the product features, give you lots of options on selfies and the kinds of formats that you can do. And they will make it very easy for you. Realme's features will be easier to do than, let's say, a Samsung.
Yeah.
And by word of mouth, somebody told you or showed you what Realme can do, and therefore you bought Realme.
Yeah,
Chances are you never saw an advertisement for Realme.
Yeah, it happens, sir. Word of mouth works.
That's it. So those who recommended Realme to you, they are prosumers of Realme. Okay. And the task of a brand, of a brand is to create as many prosumers as you can.
Co-creation has become a buzzword. Does it actually help build brand loyalty?
Yes. If you design the co-creation into the product, if you try and do it only in social media, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
You have to build co-creation or evolve the product. The best way to generate word of mouth is to understand the emotional need of the consumer, then design that emotional need into the product design. Then in the packaging, it also needs to reflect that emotional need. In the pricing, it also needs to reflect the emotional need. Okay. In the purchase experience, it needs to reflect the emotional need. In its prosumer policy, it needs to reflect the emotional need. In its profit policy, it needs to reflect the emotional need. And in its promotion, it also reflects the emotional need. These are the 8 P's of marketing, according to me. So you'll find, if you want to know more about it, there is an article that I've written called The Consumer as the Medium that explains how these 8 P's work. But the consumer becomes the medium. When the consumer is the medium, you're co-creating the brand. Okay.
So, like a customer is not that stupid that it is likely, it is like your wife.
That's a famous statement by David
brand
Ogilvy.
building में क्या relevance है आज?
So this is a quotation from David Ogilvy. Originally, his quotation was really, the consumer is not a moron, she is your wife.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, too many people in advertising treat their prospects like idiots. They're all buddhu banate. Okay. The moment you do that, you will find that consumer will hit you back. He or she doesn't like that. So unless you treat the consumer with respect, like men should treat their wives, your brand will not grow.
Yes,
in our Indian patriarchal mindset, where women are demeaned, women are looked down upon, that doesn't create for a healthy relationship.
Okay.
When you treat women as, when men and women treat themselves as equals, that's a healthy relationship. That's the lesson marketers can learn from. Treat the consumer with respect. So David Ogilvy's saying is still true.
After listening you, I can connect with that and say, yeah, it's really true. Okay. ओगलवी ने कहा था कि प्रॉब्लम समझो, प्रोडक्ट में सॉल्यूशन दो, ठीक है। जैसे डब ने ड्राई स्किन को सॉल्व था और वो आज उतना ही रेलिवेंट है। तो आज के जो ब्रांड्स हैं वो इमोशनल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं या सिर्फ फीचर्स बेच रहे हैं?
आई एम सॉरी to correct you, you're actually misquoting David Ogilvy. What you translated to Hindi is not something that David Ogilvy said, okay? And not too sure where you picked this up from. Because David Ogilvy has never said, you said, product ko samjho, yeah? What David Ogilvy has said is, understand the consumer and make the product relevant for the consumer. The way to make the product relevant for the consumer is finding the emotional connect. So I'm afraid a little bit of David Ogilvy got lost in translation into Hindi.
So, people are trusting brands. Yeah, people are trusting the name of the brands. तो जो वो दिखता है क्या उस पे ही भरोसा करते हैं?
नहीं, not. It's not दिखता है. It is what perceive about that human being that I personify as a brand that I will trust. If you do not have a personification of the brand, you will not trust. Let me give you an example. You believe in Bhagwan?
Yeah.
Have you seen God?
No.
But you believe?
Yes, sir. It's a faith.
It's a faith.
Yeah.
Brands have the same thing. That's the thing. The brand, you have a faith in that brand, which is not tangible. But products are tangible. A brand is intangible.
So, according to you, क्या हर ब्रांड को किसी सोशल या कल्चरल कॉज से लिंक्ड होना चाहिए?
Yes, because if the brand is not part of your cultural milieu, it's not a brand. At the most, it's a product with a name tag. Tamsam, I'm going to tell you the 5 biggest brands in the world are Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism. Okay. There is one more. I've named 4. Now you tell me which is the 5th.
Sikhism, I think.
It's pretty good. It's not as big as Islam. But you're right. See, all these faiths, how did it happen? Because of cultural rituals which you practice from birth. You were born into it. Sometimes you can change your faith. What really good brand managers want to do is want you to make as loyal to the brand so that you will not change your faith in the brand. Okay? All these brands that I talked about solve one emotional need. What will happen to me when I die? It's an unmet emotional need. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
What will happen to me when I die?
When I die, right.
Why was I born and what will happen to me when I die? Religion answers these.
Correct.
Brands also find like that an unmet need. Okay? And then it answers that emotionally.
Okay.
Now I can design rituals and practices, much like religion does, my community will grow. And these rituals and practices are co-created. Okay? It's pretty much like food. Like, let's say Jains will have a particular kind of food because of their belief. And once they keep having it, they will not like something which has any bit of ginger in it because their mouth and ritual, they've got used to it. It's like vegetarians, the moment they sniff fish, they get upset, emotionally upset.
Yeah.
Right? Why is that?
So do you like eating fish?
I am a Bengali, yes. I'm a Bengali and therefore culturally, yes. Okay. So now you understand how, and look at the pride with people say, like, what are you? You're from where? Which part of India? Tabassum?
West Bengal.
You're from West Bengal?
Yeah.
So you don't like eating fish?
Me too, sir.
Okay, there you are. But as part of your, if you're, are you practicing Muslim?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Correct. Imagine the emotional satisfaction that you have when you pray. So this is that rational or is that emotional?
Emotional, sir.
So this is what brands have not understood. Many good brands have understood it. That's why they become huge brands. And many products with name tags have not understood it. Okay. So what happens is that, like, let's say during Eid, you will celebrate, but you will probably get friends from other religions to also come in.
Yeah.
They start getting respect for you because there's a bonding that happens.
Correct.
All our festivals have been designed to do this bonding. And fortunately for India, the festivals have become, they're celebrated by everybody. Like you and I probably celebrate Christmas also. You and I celebrate New Year.
Yeah.
But it's not the current, it is after we knew that we are a secular country that we celebrate each other's rituals.
Correct.
And that makes India the stronger brand.
Definitely.
Okay. And that's why I'm upset by a certain sector who's trying to make one religion more prominent than the others.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, they're not really Indians.
Yeah, as we know that India is a secular country, so there are lots of religions, there are lots of languages, there are lots of cultures. So there is not that कि एक ही चीज को कोई भी है यो prominent बना दिए उसको उसी को रखना है.
And this diversity of religion, culture, etc., is what makes India strong.
Yeah, unity in diversity is basically.
That's right.
Okay, sir. I had seen that you had mentioned 4-5 brands like Apple, Amazon, and all. So why these brands? Why not other brands?
So because Apple figured out, Steve Jobs figured out that people want technology to make them look creative. Is this true? That people would like to look creative through technology? So he designed Apple in a manner that, like in the earlier stage, number of typefaces that you could have on Apple was much, much more than IBM PC. So creative people found, oh, Apple is helping me become more creative. And because of the product features that he built into Apple's products, creative people pay a premium for Apple, only to communicate to the rest of the world, oh, you're not creative, I am. Okay, understood? As a result of which, Apple gets a much higher premium.
Right.
Apple, you take a video, you can publish it, and you won't be able to make out whether it's a movie or not, because they built those features into their product. And they've got and it's a good word of mouth campaign that they've done, shot on iPhone. Okay, which is all real life word, shot on iPhone. So that's consumer created building. So that's as far as Apple goes. Very simple truth. People want technology to make them look creative. Okay. Amazon's truth is people buy products that others have already endorsed. So Amazon started off as a book service. I don't know whether you know that. You could buy books on Amazon, and the books had a rating system which anybody who's read it could give it 5 stars and put a little testimonial. They then realized that this is true not only for books, it is true for all products and services. So you go to Amazon because other people have already tried it and they've given you a rating. That's why you trust Amazon so much.
Yeah.
So it's a truth for every single product category under Amazon. All based on a simple truth. People trust what others have already bought. That's it. That's the obvious emotional truth.
Yeah. So now I'm connecting you with the theater and I'm asking about अगर आपको कोई एक फिक्शनल कैरेक्टर को ब्रांड बनाना होता जस्ट लाइक ब्योमकेश जी और गब्बर सिंह, ओके, तो उनकी पोजीशनिंग क्या होती आपके हिसाब से?
So Gabbar Singh is the villain we love to hate. We love Gabbar Singh.
Yeah.
But he's the villain. Okay?
Definitely, sir.
So that's this thing of us wanting to love somebody we should hate comes from Yamraj. From Yamraj onwards. Yamraj is worshipped, but he's a demon, no?
Demon, yeah.
Okay. Gabbar Singh became an interesting character because the writers understood this and made 2 bhola bhala good guys, Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmender, up against this formidable bad guy who had a heart. Okay? And that's how you create very interesting characters in theatre. People fall in love even with the villain. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Uh,
By the way,
so
I have often used this technique in
Yeah.
brands because people want the brand to become a personality. So I deliberately get people to engineer a slight flaw in the brand so that you say, "Acha, ye to human, brand is also human. He's not a very good person. Everything is very good. There is a flaw, and because there's a flaw, you tend to relate to that individual as a human." So I try and tell my clients to put a well-planned personality flaw into your brand's personality.
Okay, that means personification of a brand.
That's right.
Okay.
And that's something that theatre has taught me about brands, making your characters
So-
interesting.
तो तो थिएटर में क्या इम्पैक्टफुल एड्स असल में एक तरह का थिएटर ही है?
Yeah, there's a connection with it. I mean, the characters that you put in an ad, if they're not well nuanced and seem to be interesting, they come out like cardboard characters. It like if you have a very good looking model, say buy this, it's very good, it's very attractive, and you should buy it. You don't believe this individual. Whereas if the person says, I was so upset that this product showed me wrong, and that's why I think this switch is a very good switch, because it always proves me wrong. Okay. When I take something like that, the character becomes interesting, and then you start to believe, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's part of theatre, and good scriptwriters know this.
Okay. So according to your concept at learning by earning, so what is the practical example that you are still experiencing?
Okay. So I'll first tell you about the difference between learning by doing and learning by earning. Do you know how to cook?
Yeah.
Did you go to school or college to learn how to cook?
No.
How did you learn then?
Seeing my
You
mother
learned by
cooking.
doing. Yeah. And you learned by doing.
Then by doing and experimenting over that.
Now, have you ever started a food business with your cooking?
No.
But if you did, you'd have learned cooking even more. If you could turn your learning by doing into earning, you would have been a very good cook. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
So my principle is building brands is actually as simple as riding a bicycle. You learn by doing. Sometimes you fall, and more importantly, you need somebody who will give you moral support that you can ride a bicycle. Do you know how to ride a bicycle, Tabassum?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you learn?
By doing.
By doing. Did you fall a few times?
Yeah, most of the times.
And who encouraged you to go get back up?
Friends.
Friends. So you need that support. Okay. What I do is help people learn by doing, and I'm that moral support for their business, knowing fully well that they will learn by doing. Lectures and theory won't help. Okay. Now, much better is if you learn by earning. So when a person comes to me, I ask them, what is it that you enjoy doing the most? Okay. And then I convert that into a brand for them so that they can earn a good living by doing what they enjoy doing the most. Okay. And it's always possible to do that. If you enjoy something really well, you can always make a living out of it, provided you just think through what's the obvious emotional truth on which my brand is based. Therefore, what business am I really in? Then, at whom is the brand aimed? If the brand were a person, what would be the personality? And then you would just look at yourself and do the two or three adjectives which will attract the target audience. And then you come up with a branding idea which you will inject into your product, packaging, pricing, etc. Okay. So that's how it works. When you do this by learning by earning, of course you learn. And the reason that I don't have to advertise my brand is that my satisfied client recommends another satisfied client. So in fact, if you go to my website, you'll find that I haven't changed it for 25 years because they don't come to me from my website. They come to me by the recommendation of another happy client.
Yeah, I had seen your website, sir, and no changes yet.
I've not changed it. I've not had to change it because my customers don't come from there.
Okay. So, लोग अक्सर कम्युनिकेशन को ही मार्केटिंग समझ लेते हैं. तो
समझ लेते हैं बट वो कम्युनिकेशन में लिसनिंग भूल जाते हैं. अच्छा. कम्युनिकेशन इज आल्सो लिसनिंग. ओके.
कम्युनिकेशन में लिसनिंग भूल जाते हैं.
इसीलिए मार्केटिंग इज नाउ बिकम शाउट. You have to listen to me. I won't listen to you.
Okay. Hmm, I got. So, sir, you had told day, I was listening that day that you work 30 hours.
30 hours in a
The
month.
rest 30 hours in a month. So,
Yeah.
what you used to do rest of the time?
I do theater. I help people grow. So I find that now clients, because the clients are happily paying me $500 an hour. So my product is that you come up with a problem. My fee is $5,000. Within about 6 1-hour sessions, I'm able to find out a route map that will help you drive the brand motorcycle to your destination. So within 6 hours, that route map is emerged. After that, I help and just need to, in case the person falls off, I put them back on the seat. Okay. So that takes about 4 more sessions. In 10 hours of coaching, their brand motorcycle has reached their destination. They've learned by earning. So it means the client pays only $5,000, which is 4 lakhs rupees. So any business that is earning $50,000 can afford me because 10% of their revenue. Okay. So I'm extremely affordable, though I may say that it's 40,000 rupees an hour. Because so what I do is that I now accept 6 clients in a month. Once a week, I meet up with them, okay, and show them how to ride the motorcycle, which all I have to do is give them moral confidence. I don't have to do much. I have to just tell them, now it's okay. Why don't you try this and you'll find. And then they try it and next week it will work. In 6 weeks, they've discovered how to do. See, how long does it take to learn to do biryani? Okay. You have to do it a few times, and then when it goes wrong, you find, and then suddenly by the 6th time you're making biryani that people will pay you for.
Yeah.
Then you've got your biryani brand, no? Especially if you inject into that biryani an unmet truth. Like, for example, if you want to say, this is a biryani which will help you get friends. Now, you will not do a one-serving biryani. You'll do a biryani which is meant for sharing. It's large. Now, have you understood how your product and packaging has changed on the basis that I'm actually in the business of creating friendship through food? Yeah. So is it true that food creates friendship? Is this true? It's an obvious emotional truth. Now, you may have started with biryani. Now, you as a brand can create any number of products which helps friends get together. Okay. Like if you now want to do a dosa, it should be a family-sized dosa because everybody eats from there. Understood? See how the product changes because of the brand? Okay.
You are showing me the deeper meaning behind that brand and the emotional connection about that.
And fortunately, it is only common sense that I'm teaching you. Absolute common sense. And building brands only takes common sense.
I'm loving it, talking to you and getting more and more information adding up into my knowledge. Okay. So, sir, here is my short answer type questions I have made for you. 4 to 5 questions. So, एक branding myth जो आप तोड़ना चाहेंगे?
That you need advertising to build brands.
Right.
Because it's word of mouth that actually builds brands. You can use advertising, but the advertising to amplify what you're already getting on word of mouth. Advertising doesn't build brands. You cannot build brands through advertising alone. You have to have a word of mouthable idea that your brand actually delivers, then advertising can help.
कोई ऐसा ब्रांड है जिसका पर्पस क्लियरली कम्युनिकेट हुआ है बिना हेवी एड्स के?
Yeah, Missionaries of Charity is one. Starbucks is another. They've become large brands. There's a brand called Body Shop. Have you heard of Body Shop? Which is it's a fashion brand that would. Have you heard of a brand called Zara?
Yeah.
You've heard of a brand called Mango?
Yeah.
You've seen any advertising?
No.
Acha. Because they're all based on an obvious emotional truth, which you as a woman in that age and a fashion conscious woman would relate. Okay.
एक ऐसा underrated branding tactic जो आज भी काम करती है?
Observation. The technical term for it is ethnography, but it is observation. Like, for example, I can build a brand aimed exactly at you just by observing the background that you've chosen for yourself. Yeah. So in the background, you've used a thing which is a spiral thing of a graphic. So I know that you like folk art. Is it true that you like folk art?
Yeah, it's
Anything?
a art, we like that, and so this is also the symbol of our unwrapping level. So we
Great.
had done this. Yeah,
That's very good. All three of you in Unwrapping Labels love Indian folk art.
yeah, definitely, sir.
And where did I get that insight from? Just by observing your background. These observations tell a lot of truth. Okay. Like, for example, I can help create. Do people want to create a fashion brand? Just by looking at you, I can give you an idea for a fashion brand. Just by observing what you're wearing and how you wear
Yeah.
your hair. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So if you create a brand which is aesthetic but not too loud, which does not scream, watch me, but I want to fit in with society. I want to look good, but I want to fit in with society. If you have a brand like that you do, you will have unwrapped the label of your fashion brand.
I think it's a good idea.
And all it came from was just watching you on screen, based on the clothes that you've chosen to wear, based on how you've chosen to wear your hair.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So human beings communicate a lot through body language. So you were asking about myths that you need to be bust. Okay. One myth is that I'd like to bust is communication is through words. Actually, it's not. So I'll just demonstrate this to you. I'd like you to raise your hand and do an OK sign. Raise your hand up now. Put your hand up and do an OK sign. Okay. No, not okay. But I'm saying this kind of OK. Raise your left hand and do an OK sign. Okay.
Fine.
Now take your hands to your face. Okay. And rub your chin. Rub your chin. Rub your chin. I'm saying chin, but you're rubbing your cheeks.
Yes, sir.
Because visuals are much stronger.
Looking
Visuals
at you, that
That's
you are speaking about chin, but I am rubbing my chin.
That's it. So the big mistake people make is that they try and write ads in words when they actually have to think it through in body language. Okay. All right.
Definitely a good example. Okay. If you had that right कि किसी एक ब्रांड का नाम बदल सकते हो, तो वो कौन सा ब्रांड होगा और क्यों?
So I would actually not change the name of a brand unless it is impossible to pronounce. Okay. Because what I've learned very early in my life, the name of the brand doesn't matter as long as it is pronounceable and as long as it does not mean something bad in another language. The brand name doesn't matter. I'll tell you how I realized this. You may not know a brand called Sumit Mixers. Do you know about Sumit Mixers? But your parents will. Your parents' generation will definitely have had a mixer grinder in their kitchen called Sumit. Okay. Now, why I say, look, I thought people had given me that brand because my name is also Sumit. Okay. Sumit Mixers became seen as India's hardiest kitchen mixer, simply because I observed during one of the kitchen fair demonstration, a South Indian girl cut up coconut, put it into the mixer, ground it and created coconut chutney. As soon as she did that, a whole line of Tamil people came and looked at that and bought the mixer. We didn't have to do any sales talk because coconut chutney was being done so fast. It was all visually communicated. Yes, this kind of cultural demonstration made Sumit the world's hardiest, India's hardiest kitchen mixer. And by word of mouth, the name spread. So people unfortunately put too much attention to the name. They should pay more attention of what business are you really in. After that, if you can have an appropriate name for that, that's fine. But your brand name only needs to be memorable and not be culturally wrong in any other language. Otherwise, it's fine. Okay. So you can create a name out of Ubuzudi. Perfectly okay. You can call your fashion line Ubuzudi. It will work as long as you based on making it. I will look good, but I will not yell for attention. It's called Ubuzudi. Now, if it's a successful brand, people say, "ये तो Ubuzudi पर क्या है? ये तो Ubuzudi किया है," which means she's always polite, well dressed, etc., but doesn't scream for attention.
Thank you for a suggestion, sir.
Good. We'll wait to see the Ubuzudi brand. There's another thing that I want to tell the three of you. For some reason, you've decided not to earn money from what you're doing. I'm saying that if you feel passionate about unwrapping labels, it can be a business. When you want to, you can come to me and I will help you make it a business.
Definitely, sir.
Okay.
I'll reach out to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too, sir. So, sir, अगर आपकी लाइफ एक ब्रांड होती तो उसका आप टैगलाइन क्या रखते?
My life?
Yeah.
It's already there in the LinkedIn. I grow people who grow brands.
Yeah.
I put it in my LinkedIn profile.
Okay, sir.
I grow people who grow brands.
That's good.
Okay.
ये कन्वर्सेशन ये एक बहुत बड़ी मास्टर क्लास थी. मैंने बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी हैं आपसे, बहुत सारी चीजें गेन की मैंने. तो परफॉर्मेंस से पर्पस तक आपने मुझे रिडायरेक्ट किया. जैसे हम अपना ब्रांड फैशन के ऊपर भी ये कर सकते हैं, एक्सपोजर ला सकते हैं एंड ऑल दैट.
I'm glad that you learned, but till you earn from it, you haven't learned.
Definitely going to do that too, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We will definitely reach out to you, and we also need your what we call Ashirwad and all, and your suggestions too, so that we will grow in future and we will earn definitely.
Thank you. My apologies that there seemed to be a bit of a lag and I kept interrupting you, but I thought that you had finished. So my apologies if I kept interrupting you. I thought you had finished.
No, sir. We are mostly towards the end of this session, and I'm just grateful to you. जाने से पहले I want to ask one more thing कि क्या कोई ऐसा thought या suggestion है आप जो आप अपने listeners को देना चाहेंगे?
Yes, I would say that if there is something that you are passionate about, you can make into a brand and earn a decent living. Chase purpose of why you are passionate. Don't chase money. Money will come.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your most precious time that you had spent with us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
अगर आपको लगा कि ब्रांडिंग सिर्फ कैंपेन्स नहीं, एक बिलीफ सिस्टम है, तो इस एपिसोड को लाइक, शेयर और कमेंट ज़रूर करिए. कमेंट्स में बताइए आपके प्रोडक्ट के पीछे क्या आइडिया छुपा है. तब तक कीप अनरैपिंग एंड कीप क्वेश्चनिंग.